Welcome again, Maxim here, and today we are gonna talk about resources, and more precisely about the basics of their farming. During missions in many locations, we will obtain various types of resources. There are locations that are more affordable for acquiring a given resource, and also there are methods that will increase the efficiency of their farming. This material is an introduction to the next video, which will describe where we can get a specific resource from. But even if you know the best places to farm, you won't achieve satisfactory results without fundamental knowledge. To obtain resources in greater amounts, you should focus on missions where you will fight against large groups of enemies. Endless missions, such as defense or survival, will be the best option. There are no better ways to get common and uncommon resources. About rare ones, you can also try to get them on such missions, but there are other comparable or even better methods. But first thing first. Let's start with a question. What should we use to farm efficiently? There are several possibilities. I will discuss things that will always be needed, regardless of whether we play a few or several hundreds of hours, and also mention what is useful in most cases in the initial game stages, if any. Before choosing a character, we should know a few mods. Some loot detection will be useful. If we use Sentinel or Companion, we can use Animal Instinct to have marked resources on the minimap. We can also use a similar mod in our Warframe. Regardless of where we place it, they will combine their effects and increase resources and containers detection range. In our Sentinel, we can also use mod Vacuum or Fetch in our Companion. They attract loot from a distance, so you don't have to get really close to get them. In the early game stages, a good method may be to clear all map from all resources that are located there. While we can always open various containers, we cannot open all lockers. If you don't want to pass any opportunities for extra loot, you can also use mods like Master Thief or Scavenge. First one is for Warframe and gives you a 40% chance to unlock locked locker. Second mod is for Companion. Works exactly the same, but with 90% chance. Important note, using one of them will prevent the other one from activation, so more profitable is Companion one. Also, there is a Parazon mod that will unlock 5 lockers within 20-meter range after hacking a console. A nice addition is the ability to passively collect several portions of resources using Extractors. After a 4-hour expedition, they will bring us a few packages of one of the resources available on the planet. A small but convenient passive profit. Over time, the Extractors will get damaged. To repair them, we need to leave them in peace for some time for their health to be restored. We can send other ones with full health. There are 4 Extractor variants: Titan, Distilling, and their Prime variants. Distilling Extractor has a more chance to bring uncommon and rare resources than Titan, while Titan Extractor can bring more portions of resources after one expedition. Titan Prime bring even more portions of resources, and Distilling Prime got even higher chances of bringing uncommon and rare resources. Regular variants are available from the market, but Prime variants are available only from the Prime Access or Varzia's offer on Mars Bazaar for Regal Aya, which can be purchased only with real money. As we develop our account, we will be able to send more and more Extractors. From 0 to 4th Mastery rank, we can send 1. From 5th to 9th Mastery rank, we can send 2. 10 and above is free. If we buy any Prime Access package, we will be able to send 1 additional Extractor. As an interesting fact, I can add that players with Founder status can send even 1 more, but the Founder program was closed at the end of 2013. Knowing mods that can help us farm, let's now choose a Warframe. The first and the basic choice is Necros. The simplicity of using his desecration makes him a very common and effective choice. This skill has a 54% chance of getting additional drop. We can also use weapons with a lot of slash damage, because if we halve an opponent, every major part of his body will be desecrated. Melee weapons such as Atrax, Galatine or Venka are very effective, but also fire weapons with slash damage can be used to dismember body parts. The augment for the 4th Korra skill has a higher chance for extra loot. If mob gets caught by her Strangle Dome, there is 65% chance that it will drop an extra loot on death. Another useful character is Hydroid, which also needs augmentation on the 4th skill to obtain additional loot. Enemies killed by tentacles or those who died while being held by them will drop extra loot. The chance for this is 100%. The same chance is from Ivara's Prowl, her third skill, if you have minimum 100% strength on your build. That skill allows you to discreetly draw out additional drops from still alive opponents. And we have Atlas, who needs argument for his third skill to have chance to generate extra loot. When we use that mod, each 1% of power strength gives us 0.25% chance for additional loot. So 100% of power strength gives us 25% chance for extra loot from petrified enemies. If we want to have 100% chance of it, we need to create a build with minimum 400 power strength. If you don't use Necros, you can take Chesakubro on mission, which will desecrate one dead body every 10 seconds. I will skip Wukong's Monkey Luck, one of his 5 death skills, which gives you extra loot from killed enemies, because it only works once for entire mission for 60 seconds, and it can activate on Wukong's death. Due to the fact how this skill activation is related with RNG and how short it lasts, this Warframe cannot be considered as a profitable option of farming anything. But do all those skills work together? The answer is not all, but most of them. Now you can see the table of how a given skill works with others. Chesakubro is not included here because it works exactly like Necros and desecrated body disappears. I also omit Wukong's random skill. The basic rule is that 2 identical characters will not get 2 additional portions of loot from one mob or dead body, for instance 2 Necroses. In addition, the skills of Hydroid and Korra do not work together. Except these cases, all additional loot methods can be combined with each other. Before we go any further with the topic, let me just add that all materials presented in this video are with a resource booster that I received from Daily Tribute. Well, we already know what to use, and now we have to find out where and how. Where depends on whether we farm solo or with a team. An important fact is that the more players in a team, the more mobs will spawn on endless missions. Every single player on the team makes a big difference. Here you can see how many resources I got solo playing Korra and how many from the same long mission after Necros joined me. Apart from the fact that at this point we will simply have more enemies to kill, an additional aspect is that Korra's Strangledome cuts through opponents, which in combination with Necros Desecration makes another huge change. So where should we farm? If we are going on solo mission, the best option will be Dark Sector, due to the increased resources drop chance on those places. However, if only one person joins us, Dark Sector can be not the best option anymore. Why is it like that? Let's take a look at the factions we can fight against. Which one is the best for farming? If, of course, we have a choice. Because some of the resources can be limited to a specific faction, like Oxium, dropping only from a specific corpus units. Or for instance Argon Crystal, related to the Void, so we can get it fighting with Orokins there. However, if we have a choice, which faction is the best to farm? Will it be Corpus, Grineer, or maybe Infested? Let's start with Corpus. No. Just no. This unit can spawn at any time during the missions and completely ignores Warframe's abilities. Also, other mobs are likely to hide inside this bubble. We can destroy the bubble for the short moment or even forever. Killing him is also an option, but there will be more of them. The longer we play, the more often they spawn. That will make our farming more difficult. I compared how many salvage I could get on Jupiter on regular survival mission, Elara, and how many on Dark Sector, Cameria. It turns out that the Infested are better option here, but I must mention about special Infested units that spawn after 8 minutes, that increase other mobs' armor, health, and make them harder to trap inside Korra's Strangledome. But still, after 10 minutes I got more resources from Infested. On the same missions, when playing in the squad with Necros, the results were similar. We got more in a Dark Sector, so comparing Corpus and Infested, better one to farm are Infested. Okay, let's see the values on Grineer and Infested on Saturn, Survival on Titan and Piscinas. Here as well, in the solo approach, I got more common resource in the Dark Sector. However, when I repeated these missions in a team with Necros, the results were completely different. I got more resources on the Grenier mission than on the Dark Sector, where, let me remind you, there is an increased drop chance for resources. The only difference were Orokin cells, but it's all matter of RNG. All of them dropped in first 2 minutes, the remaining 8 minutes none of them dropped out. So the best faction to farm resources are Grenier. Infested are second, while Corpus are sad necessity, third place. An additional Grenier advantage is that they do not have any buffing or skill resistant units. Also, if you remember a video about farming credits, I choose the Grenier as a faction where we can farm mods for credits, because from the Grenier we have the biggest chance to drop a mod, especially units from Uranus. But is survival the only place where we can get resources? Of course not. We can literally treat every mission as a source of resources. By preparing properly, whether with mods or characters, or with any additional assortment, or even by buying boosters, we can get some resources from every mission. We have to complete regular missions as a part of our travels to other planets in the solar system anyway. We can always go on missions with Necros, or another character that guarantees more loot. We can use any kind of beast companion, Kavat, Kubro or something else, and equip it with a mod Resourceful Retriever. It gives 18% chance for doubling picked up resources. There's also another mod working like this, a Loyal Retriever, but chance with it is only 13%, because it can double picked up resources or credits at the same time. If you need only resources, stick to the first one. We can equip Ignis as the primary weapon and put a punch-through mod in it, so that we can quickly break containers with resources even through walls. We can then take, for instance, a long-range melee weapon to break containers from a long distance. Or if we have Zaku, build it for high efficiency and range to open every possible container on a large area with his fourth skill. Or if we are lazy and we like it when everything happens automatically, we can take a carrier with us, which with the looter mod will open the containers for us. There are many possibilities, we just need to check which of them will suit us best. And that's all in this video. Be sure to watch the next video, where I will show the best places to farm specific types of resources. If I missed any important aspect in this one, let me know in the comments. See you next time. Bye.